Hillary Clinton broke her media silence with an interview this week in New York Magazine, saying she wrestles with running for president and is both pragmatic and realistic about it. But the magazine quotes an unnamed confidant as saying she's running, she just doesn't know it yet. That piece and her husband's Global Initiative conference sparked another round of the media's Hillary mania.
Do you think she'd rather be today? She can do both. President or grandmother?
If you ask her, I think she'd say grandmother. But I have found it best not to discuss that issue.
Joining us now is Joe Concha, columnist for the website Mediaite. So, Joe, Hillary says she's undecided on running, and the media reaction is, she's running. And here are some anonymous quotes to prove it.
Right. Why would she announce now, though, Howie, right? I mean, from a media perspective, she doesn't need branding, right? It's not like she is going to have any trouble raising any kind of money.
Let's not look at it from her perspective. Let's look at it from the perspective of news organizations that can't seem to stop talking about the former Secretary of State.
Well, Howie, I mean, it is 37 months until the election, you know, and it already feels like
time's a wasting.
Right. It already feels like a coronation because it's an easy story to tell. We're checking off boxes now at this point, right, in the media. First African-American president, check. First female president, next, check. Which will bridge to the next Latino president next to the gay president as well.
I don't even know what I'm doing on the show next week. Look, if Hillary stays silent, the media obsess on her. If she gives an interview and says she likes to watch stupid movies with Bill, the media obsess on her.
Well, she's the first female, as you said, president. She could be the first female president. She will be the first female, if she is president, first lady, senator, secretary. I don't see anything wrong with covering what we believe is the presumptive nominee. The timing, okay, we're a little bored.
Well,
People who are political reporters, Howie, are bored.
Just said coronation. And if we collectively in this business decide, 3 years in advance.
Okay, who else is running?
Well, we
Joe
don't know
Biden,
yet.
right? Okay.
Joe Biden,
and
maybe.
leads him by 50 points, by the way.
Right.
Look, the last president to preside over a healthy economy and a balanced budget, or at least
I don't want to get into the
but let me make my point.
Let me go back to the New York Magazine article. The current arc of Hillary's story is one of transformation. Being Secretary of State, say her closest aides, was a cleansing event. The point I'm trying to make, and it was a good piece, and I'm not being overly critical, is that most of the coverage of Hillary Rodham Clinton's pretty positive.
It is. I don't think it was a great piece, by the way, because Hillary broached the part about, hey, we like to take walks, and we like to go swimming, and we like to watch stupid movies, and we like to laugh at our dogs. When she broaches that topic, I don't see why a journalist can't ask, do you still think your husband's cheating on you? Why is that an unfair question? If she's going to broach her personal attributes and her family, then why can't you ask that question? Because I guarantee you, half the country that reads that says, wow, does she trust Bill?
Legitimate question in 2013?
I don't want to get into this question about...
I think you're crazy.
Bill,
Without some suggestion that Bill Clinton is not an elder statesman now, the overseer of the Clinton Global Initiative is not behaving himself. I mean, we all know what happened in the 1990s.
I get it, but she's selling her personal attributes, the character of her family. So I don't see why you can't ask that question. But if you do, of course, you'll be seen as a pariah. Okay. I totally get that.
You use the word, we should cover her, of course, a lot because she's the presumptive nominee. I seem to remember hearing language pretty close to that from all these pundits in 2008 when she lost.
You know, that's so funny. What I've always wanted to do is from presidential election to presidential election is take all of those pundits and put them in a room, the ones who were wrong, and have them say, I was wrong, because you never remember which pundit said she's going to be the presidential.
You'd need a stadium.
Do you know who was leading on the Republican side in 2008?
You mean a comparable point
Rudy
in the cycle?
Giuliani.
Right.
And
he
had
got one delegate.
Right.
Now, coming back to Bill Clinton, I'm going to operate on the presumption that he's behaving himself.
I am too. I'm just saying it's a fair question.
There have been a couple of critical pieces, one in the New York Times and one in the New Republic, about conflicts and possible mismanagement at the Clinton Global Initiative. And yet, it doesn't, it gets asked when he's interviewed, but basically he's basking once again in lots of favorable interviews and favorable
coverage. And it was just to my point earlier. I'm not here to sell the Bill Clinton presidency. I'm just saying it was a healthy economy, he had a balanced budget, and we weren't at war. And people are nostalgic for those times, given the current state of the country and given the devices that we not only see politically, but also in the media as well. And they figure if they get Hillary, maybe they get Bill back as well. That's all I'm saying, and that's the media mem that we're going to be hearing over the next 3 years.
But I think that the reason that the Global Clinton Initiative, which renamed Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, and Chelsea Clinton, the reason we're getting so much coverage of Bill is because of Hillary now. It's not the other way around. It's because of his wife and her Twitter account, who says the glass ceiling crasher and her occupation TBD. The Clinton Global Initiative would not be getting this attention now, I think, if it weren't for her. Not saying they're not doing good works, not saying they aren't mismanaging money. I'm just saying that the attention is tenfold because of that reason.
It's a way to run without running.
Right. Well, this, the media always focusing on the two of them reminds me of the '92 campaign when Bill Clinton famously said 2 for the price of 1. Mm-hmm. So you don't see this, I got 10 seconds, you don't see this changing anytime soon.
No, of course not. This is exactly what you're getting, 2 for 1 in the American public's eyes and in the media eyes.
But you're also getting, as we talked about in the beginning, you're also getting a lot about Ted Cruz, who could be a nominee as well. So it balances out.
Okay. What a contrast, by the way.
We'll see you both later in different segments. Send me a tweet about our show during this hour at Howard Kurtz. We'll read the best messages at the end of the program.